What is up, guys? My name is Mewtwo Fan Nate, and it is the second season of the P4G, week number 11, and we are going up against Chance and the Camden Ursarings. I'm your coach of the New York Noibats, and it has been a while since I've actually done a team builder. It's been like a couple weeks. I think the past 2 weeks I haven't had a team builder. I recorded an update video, pretty much just explaining all that. Not sure if it's going to go up before this or after this. We will see. But pretty much, it's due to like college and things like that. Just to get, if you guys don't watch the update video, you just get the gist of it. So if you don't know how I like to do my team builders, what I do is I throw up the mons that we've drafted, and then we kind of talk about team matchup and whatnot. I actually didn't write down any notes this time around, so if I'm all over the place, I apologize. So pretty much, you guys can see on the screen there, my team consists of Typhlosion, Licky, Crobat, Messsprit, Raikou, Hariyama, Blastoise, Tapabulu, Mega Scizor, Piloswine, and Hydreigon. Chance, he has drafted Starmie, Buzzwole, Jolteon, Gastrodon, Charizard X, Diancie, Celebi, Mandibuzz, Weezing, Scyther, and Ambipom. So, first thing I noticed is he only has a couple of hazard setters, being like Diancie with the Stealth Rocks, Celebi with Stealth Rocks, and then Weezing gets like Toxic Spikes. He has kind of decent with like hazard removal. Like he has Scyther, which I believe gets Defog, Mandibuzz, which I believe also gets Defog. I think Charizard might even also get Defog, but no one ever really brings Charizard with Defog, so if it does get it, then I don't think he'll bring it anyway, but if it doesn't, then I sound like an idiot. And then he has Starmie, which is a pretty decent rapid spinner. His fastest mon is Jolteon with the 130 speed, then it goes down to like Ambipom with like 115. Then he has like Starmie also at 115, Charizard at like 100, Celebi at 100, and then from there it like kind of just goes down. So pretty much like the one thing that I'm kind of concerned about is like his team is very like weird. It's like it's decent, but his record doesn't show it. Like Mega Charizard X is very threatening, and I think it's very good. I think he has like decent things to kind of play around with it. Like the one thing that I like, I mean, he has a fairy that can like take other dragon moves like Diancie, so I mean, and it's very bulky too, so it's like it's like not a bad team. Pretty much like the couple fears that I have for this game are Ambipom, which is like Life Orb or something, because that thing can hit very hard. Then I'm also kind of concerned about the Charizard X because I don't really have a real Flare Blitz switch in. If I let my team get too weakened, Jolteon could potentially be an issue, Buzzwole could potentially be an issue, but I don't think it will be. I think I'll be okay. I'm not really too worried about his checks to Tapabulu, like being like the Weezing, the Mandibuzz, and even like the Charizard X and the Buzzwole. The Buzzwole could definitely check the Tapabulu pretty well. But once I throw in a choice band to Tapabulu, it's like not many things like to switch in. Even Scyther likes to switch in on Tapabulu because it does not take much from a Wood Hammer. Even a banded Wood Hammer does not. It doesn't really do much to it. But I do have coverage moves for it, so I can kind of hit it and just like straight up OHKO it. So pretty much like the idea of this team is that he does not appreciate rocks. Like he has Charizard X, which doesn't like the rocks. He has Mandibuzz, which doesn't like the rocks. Scyther doesn't like the rocks. Jolteon can get whittled down pretty easily by the rocks. Like he doesn't like his team doesn't really appreciate the stealth rocks. So I definitely want to make sure I can get those up. I'm going to actually just get rid of these now, and then I'll talk about like what I have and why I have it. Now, originally I actually didn't even have Thick Fat, but I'm like, I don't really need the Oblivious, because I was looking at a team, like the only thing that might want to taunt me would be like the Mandibuzz. And I'm not really concerned about the Mandibuzz just going for a taunt on me. I feel like he can't really run taunt. Maybe he would want to run like Brave Bird, Roost, U-Turn, Defog, something like that. Or even Knockoff. I just don't think he's going to fit Taunt on there this week. Like, I think he needs to run some kind of dark and flying moves just to try to handle Tapabulu in a combination of like Roost to be able to deal with it. So I think that's what he's gonna be doing. I think he could, like, Ambipom is also a potential issue, but I don't think we have to worry about it too much. Like, depending on what I see, might determine what I want to lead with. Like, I might want to lead with Crobat, because Ambipom might be a decent lead for him. Crobat actually has a decent like lead matchup against almost everything. The one thing I'm kind of concerned about is if he leads with Charizard X versus my Crobat, because then I'm gonna have to like U-turn on it and then go out find like a switch in, which is pretty much Pilot Swine. If he goes for the Dragon Dance though, it's gonna be a little bit of an issue, because a +1 Flare Blitz hurts a lot. Although I am thick fat and I'm like max defense with the Eviolite, so I should be able to take one. And then Earthquake him back, although the Earthquake only will do like 75%, so it actually, the combination of Earthquake plus Ice Shard knocks him out with the 2 min rolls too, so if I get high rolls, I'll be looking even better. So unless he's like some really weird like bulky Charizard which is like max HP or something like that, but even then they would just be rolls. Like if he's like the standard max attack, max speed, then I pretty much can guarantee it with even just min rolls, so I'm not really too worried. Then this set is very standard, like just it hits everything actually on his team pretty well, aside from like Buzzwole. So I mean, I have like decent Buzzwole switch-ins, and what I mean by decent, I mean none at all. Like the only thing that I could really do is switch into Crobat, but then it gets hit with a rock type move, and then it's very scary. So I mean, there's a couple things that like I can do to deal with it. Like I can hit it with a Psychic from Messsprit. I can hit it with like Aerial Ace with Scizor. I can hit it with the Brave Bird from Crobat. As long as I get like a free switch in, I will be okay. I can always like revenge kill it. So pretty much this set is just going to like help me get up Stealth Rocks, and then potentially deal with like the Mega Charizard, deal with the Jolteon pretty well. Scyther can't really hurt me too bad. Ambipom can't really do much to me. You can hit me with a Seed Bomb, but I am max defense and it's not stab, so I'm not really too worried about it. The next one that I'm going to go over is the Messsprit. Now this is like the pretty much like what I tried pulling off against Leo in week 6. I think it could actually work if I do get the Z-Recycle off, because I have coverage like that hits like his entire team. Like Psychic, it pretty much hits like it hits the Buzzwole, it hits the Jolteon, it hits the Mega Charizard X, it hits the Weezing, hits the Scyther, it hits the Ambipom. Like Psychic just hits very hard and it's modest stab. Then we have like Ice Beam, which hits the the Celebi. It hits the Mandibuzz. It also hits the Scyther. So that's nice. Then I have Energy Ball, which also hits the Starmie. It hits the Gastrodon. It hits the Diancie, and that's pretty much it. So I mean, between that coverage, like I hit pretty much the entirety of his team. The Z-Recycle, what it does, it gives me a +2 speed boost, and it will actually allow me to outspeed a +1 Mega Charizard X. So that meaning if I'm at +2 speed, he cannot Dragon Dance and then be able to outspeed me. He'd have to set up 2. So with that being said, I think this is a pretty decent set. Then what I have next is the Tapabulu, and it is Choice Banded, because Choice Banded hurts. Like he doesn't really have a Wood Hammer switch in. Like it just 2 kills like almost everything on his team. Even like Mandibuzz does not take 2 of them. Weezing does not take 2 of them. Scyther can take 2 of them, and Charizard X can take 2 of them, and then Buzzwole could take 2 of them. So there's 3 things that could take 2 of them, but they don't appreciate the hit. And I mean, yes, they all do get recovery with like Roost and everything, but if they do want to go for a Roost, then it just kind of gives me a free switch into something else that can like potentially like threaten them out or one-shot them Whether if it's like Mega Charizard X, I can like then if he wants to roost up, it'll give me a free switch into my Pilot line. If he wants to roost up with like Buzzwole, then that gives me like a free switch into my Crobat. With Scizor, it also gives me a switch into it can actually give me a switch into like my Licky or Scizor, because I'm actually running a very defensive Licky. I'll show you guys in a minute. But the combination of like Zen Headbutt that like hurts his Weezing really bad. Rock Tomb means that his Scizor can't switch it on me. It means that his Charizard X can't switch it on me. And the nice thing about the Charizard X, if he tries to use it to switch into Tapabulu, then that means that he will be slower than me, and then I can knock him out the following turn, or force him to switch out. Wood Hammer, of course, is a nuke, and then Mega Horn is pretty much just for the Celebi, but it also hits the Starmie for super effective damage. So depending on the situation, and like if it's late game and I just need to click, if he has like this combination of like Starmie, Celebi, and maybe the Mandibuzz left with like the Mandibuzz is really weak, I might just click Mega Horn, because if I hit them, I should be able to knock all 3 of them out. So that's pretty much like the idea, and I think I'll be able to actually outspeed the Mandibuzz, because I know it is faster. Like if I go back and we just look at Mandibuzz's speed, it's base 80, but who runs like max speed? Mandibuzz. So I mean, like, I don't think he'll use it as like an offensive one. Where is it? Week 11. So like who does that? Like who's gonna run like max speed? So I think I should be okay, and I'm not like doing any kind of speed creeping, because I don't want to have him accidentally like speed creep me or put a certain amount of EBs and like speed expecting me. Like I don't know. I want to be safe. I'm just gonna run max speed, because there are things that he can use to outspeed me. Like for example, if Buzzwole is more like defensive, then I can pretty much be able to outspeed it. If like I'm not sure you guys get what I'm trying to say. Like if he ends up running like a defensive Buzzwole and he's not like EV'd at all in speed, then pretty much I can outspeed him. And I don't want to risk like try to speed creep something that's lower than me, and then potentially not outspeed him like because he's running like a defensive set. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be running the max speed this week with Bulu. The next set, we have the Crobat, Brave Bird, U-Turn, Toxic, and Roost. Toxic is pretty nice actually against this team. Like some of the bulkier things on his team, like the Mandibuzz, the Buzzwole, the Gastrodon, the Charizard X, I can put that on a timer. Celebi can pretty much, I mean, it can heal it off, but I mean, of course, it's like we really threaten it out. The Scizor can be a little bit bulky too, so I mean, just things that might be an issue. Just like the chip damage on things could really help me out. I have I'm speed creeping the 115 base speed mons in Starmie and Ambipom. Brave Bird with the Expert Belt lets me knock out the Scizor, lets me and I believe it also lets me knock out Buzzwole as long as it's not like defensive or anything like that. U-Turn is really just for momentum. It helps me, it like knocks out the Celebi with the Expert Belt. It does a lot of damage to the Starmie, and it's really good for momentum. And I have Roost too, so I can pretty much just roost off damage. Like for example, if he has the Ambipom and he goes for like the Fake Out turn 1, I have Inner Focus as well, so I can't flinch. And I might want to go for like the Roost first turn just to scout the damage, because it does like over half to me. Like Ambipom hits very hard with Technician, but depending on like what item he has might determine like what I go for. So that's pretty much that set. Then I have Scizor, which is kind of like a mixed Spadef offensive variant. We have Bullet Punch, U-Turn, Aerial Ace, and Roost. Pretty much just to, be like a pivot with like U-turn. So we can kind of switch into Starmie. Like he can hit me with like a Scald or something. If he burns me, that's unfortunate. But I mean, it's hacks, so I mean, I can't really do anything about it. Like I have like a Licky, but I'm not running Heal Bell on it or anything. Pretty much I have like Bullet Punch. I have it doesn't really do too much, but it helps me beat his Diancie, which is pretty much the only reason I'm bringing the Bullet Punch, because Diancie could potentially be a little bit of a nuisance, but I think I'll be okay. I like being able to threaten it out. We have U-turn, just for pivoting. It helps me knock out like the Starmie. It helps me knock out the Celebi. We have Aerial Ace for the Buzzwole. It's not really, going to be doing... I don't think that this is going to be, like, the MVP this week. But it does take up hits. It gives me a switch in a Jolteon. It gives me multiple, like, switches into certain, like, his special mons. Like, I can take on Celebi as long as it doesn't have HP Fire, which I think it will if if that's what he's going to be doing. It also lets me switch in Diancie. Like, Diancie cannot touch Mega Scizor, like, at all, unless it has the HP Fire, of course. But that's pretty much what this is. It's going to be just, like, a bulky mon with Roost, staying alive, pivoting, things like that. And, it also helps me chip things down, too. The chip damage can really make it easy for Messsprit just to come in, click Z Recycle, outspeed everything, and then just knock everything out with like Psychic, Ice Beam, or Energy Ball, depending on what he has. So that's pretty much it for the Scizor. Then we have the Licky. It's a Curse Rest Sleep Talk set. Pretty much what this does, and it's very interesting. It pretty much can deal with his entire team. Like, I have a little bit of Spadef, so that means I cannot be 2-KO'd by a Life Orb Thunderbolt from Jolteon, which is, I believe, is like the hardest special attacking mon that he can hit me with. I think it like has like a base 115 special attack. I could be wrong. Maybe it's base 100, but I think if that's the case, then that would also tie with like Celebi, Diancie, and Starmie, I think. But either way, like the majority of his threats, in my opinion, are physical, whether it be Ambipom, Scyther, I should say, Mega Charizard, and Buzzwole. Buzzwole beats me anyway, so I mean, I'm not really too worried about it. But after a couple curses, I can pretty much do a lot of damage to his team. Like, this could potentially just, like, sweep him. If he doesn't have Buzzwole, this can sweep. Because, I mean, what can he do to my, like, what can Weezing do to me? Like, he could burn me, but then I rust it up. Like, I think this set right here could potentially, like, really put him work. If he's, like, Nasty Plot Celebi, then yes, that would beat me. But I think this set, like a +1 or +2 return does a lot of damage. And then he'll be trying to, like, Synthesis up or whatever. And that'll let me just rest and get up my health and everything like that, and then just Sleep Talk. Just keeps going in like a cycle. The 136 in defense, I believe, after I get to like +1, I can't be 2-KO'd by a Flare Blitz that's not boosted by Charizard X. At +2, I think it's like it's like a 3-hit KO or 4-hit KO, or almost a 4-hit KO. So and then return hits literally everything on his team for neutral damage aside from the Diancie. So I kind of like this set. I almost like, I kind of want to run like a Wish variant, but I feel like that it gets set up on, and I don't want to get set up on. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't want to get set up on. I'd rather do the setting up. And I think that because Licky is very hard to break, that this will be a nice bring. I feel like he won't be able to deal with it. So that's going to be pretty much the team this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed, hit that thumb for me. It does help me out. I feel like I don't ever really ask for likes, so it's kind of just something new we're trying out. So if you guys do want to support the video, like it up. So thank you guys so much. I will see you guys tomorrow for the battle. Peace.